shopping, creativity and strategy, make it all happen. You ain't gotta sell, just market with flair. Put your plan on the map and leave them in despair. Smooth as jazz notes, the deals get close. Ideas flowing like rivers, watch them explode. Through each campaign, we paint with precision. No need for selling, just spark the vision. Creativity reigns, we master the plan. From concept to launch, we make the stand. Strategies tight, rhythm in check. Welcome to the Post, where we break the net.
What's Gucci family? Welcome to the Post of Marketing, your go-to for Marketing Monday. I'm your host, Coach LJ, and like I always say, you don't have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. Now, today's topic is a real one. How do you protect your business from falling into the trap of investing in the wrong industry during turbulent economic times? We are diving into navigating 2025 businesses to avoid amid rising tariffs. The market is shifting with the 2025 tariffs rolling in heavily, especially the new oil import levy. If you are not watching closely, you could invest in a business that drains your energy and pockets. This episode is part one of our two-part series. Today, we are discussing what not to do, the industries you want to avoid in 2025 if you want to stay recession and tariff resilient. Next week, we are flipping the script and breaking down the best business opportunities in 2025. So stay locked in, take notes, and let us talk strategy. Let us kick things off by addressing the elephant in the room. The impact of tariffs on high overhead businesses. Truthfully, when costs go up and consumer behavior shifts, the business with the heaviest bills are hit the hardest. Could we please break it down? I am glad you asked. I am about to. How do you increase tariffs, amplify challenges for businesses with significant overhead costs? Let us talk about it. Here is the deal. When operating costs are already high, think rent, utilities, labor, inventory, any extra pressure like a 104% tariff on imports from China or a 46% hike on goods from Vietnam can be a knockout punch. Industries like restaurants, grocery stores, and clothing brands are especially vulnerable. Why? Because they already run on tight margins, and now they are getting squeezed even harder. I will be sure to paint you a picture. Imagine you are a black-owned boutique in Newark, New Jersey that imports fabrics and materials from Vietnam. You were already balancing your books like a magician, but your material costs had doubled overnight. You cannot absorb that cost. If you pass it on your customer, you risk pricing yourself out of the market. That is the pressure these tariffs create. We are seeing it across the board. Restaurants are raising menu prices or cutting portions. Grocery stores are trimming hours and staff. Clothing brands are struggling to keep inventory flowing. And not just the big names, the independent businesses, our community bread and butter, are hurting most. Now, we can talk about a strategy you can implement today regarding the impact of tariffs on high overhead businesses. One, identify non-essential overhead and cut what is not moving the needle. Could you take inventory of every monthly expense? Ask, is this generating revenue or retaining customers? If not, cut it. You do not need 4 delivery apps and 5 different suppliers. Streamline. 2, shift your import strategy. Can you source some materials domestically, even if it is just a partial replacement? You will gain more control over your pricing, reduce dependency on volatile imports, and market yourself as locally sourced. That alone can be a selling point. 3, create value-based bundles or tier offerings. If you are in food or fashion, try bundling. Instead of selling individual items, sell meal kits or style packs. Customers feel like they are saving even if your margins stay the same. 4, build customer loyalty to offset shrinking margins. Introduce a loyalty program or subscribe and save model. It is easier to retain customers than to chase new ones, and recurring revenue is gold in times of uncertainty. 5, raise prices, but do it strategically. Instead of raising everything, focus on the top 20% of products that bring in 80% of your revenue. You can adjust prices so that customers barely notice but still protect your margins. Now, let us bring this closer to home. Have you or someone you know had to make hard decisions in your business because of rising supply costs? You may have had to delay a product launch or pivot your offerings altogether. If that is you, could you share your story in the comments? Let us build a thread of shared experience. We are all learning together. Here is the lesson. It is time to rethink your model if you are in a high overhead industry. You cannot operate on the same assumptions from 2 years ago. You must be leaner, innovative, and strategic about generating value without burning your bottom line. And that leads us right into the next strategy, a powerful solution we are seeing more and more small businesses pivot toward, the rise of click-and-mortar models. We want to discuss what that means, how it works, and why it might be the move you need to make in 2025 to protect your brand and your bag. Now, how can you scale without drowning in overhead costs? That is a legitimate question to ask. If we are being honest, the traditional brick and mortar model is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain, especially in this new era of high tariffs, supply chain issues, and shifting consumer habits. Let us discuss these problems now. Too many entrepreneurs, especially in our community, are locked into old school business structures. We were taught that success means storefronts, leases, big inventories, and large teams. However, if it is not paired with something more flexible, that structure can become a reliability. I want to give you an example. There is a brother, and let's just call him Michael, who owns a sneaker boutique in Jersey City, New Jersey. It is a beautiful spot. Local traffic was solid, but he was bleeding cash when the pandemic hit. And tariffs on imported goods made his shoes more expensive. Rent stayed high and inventory costs doubled. And foot traffic, man, it dropped like an insufficient stock. He had a choice, either get creative or close shop. So he pivoted. He launched an online store, turned the shop into more of a pickup and community space, and started drop shipping rare kits to keep costs low. That is the power of a click and mortar model. He cut overhead, kept his brand alive, and extended his reach beyond his block. So he flipped the model. He started investing in his online presence, an e-commerce store with drop shipping for rare sneakers and exclusive merch. But instead of shutting down the shop completely, he kept the physical store as a pickup hub and event space. That way, he still had a presence in the community and kept his brand experience tight. This move helped him cut costs, expand his reach nationwide, and most importantly, protect his margins. That is click and mortar. But you might be asking, what is click and mortar? Basically, it is the best of both worlds. You keep a small, focused physical footprint while building a strong digital presence that does the heavy lifting. And look, it is not just for retailers. This works for consultants, coaches, service providers, and even local food businesses that want to offer delivery or subscription models. Are you relying too heavily on in-person revenue. What could happen to your business if your store could not open for a month? And we noticed and we've seen what happened to some businesses during the pandemic when everything was shut down. So I would like to ask you, could your customers still shop with you online? Book your services, learn from you. If the answer is no, it is time to build your click. Let us talk about practical, low budget strategies you can implement today. One, start small. Launch a simple online store. Use platforms like Shopify, Big Cartel, or even Etsy. You do not need hundreds of products. Start with your best sellers. Two, turn your store into an experience, not just a transaction point. If you keep your physical space, use it for pop-ups, workshops, product launches, or local collaborations. Make it feel like a brand event, not just a shop. Three, invest in email and SMS lists. If foot traffic slows, your digital traffic better be growing. Use every sale, online or offline, to collect customer info and build long-term relationships. Four, sync inventory. Plus, use drop shipping where possible. Cut down on storage and shipping stress by working with suppliers who fulfill directly. Five, use social proof to build trust. To build connections, you can encourage customer reviews and share behind the scenes content. People do not just buy products, they buy stories. I would like to ask you, are you already experimenting with a click-and-mortar setup? Let me know in the comments what worked, what flopped. Let us learn from each other to build smarter and stay ready. And listen, this is precisely why knowing your business inside and out is so important. A move like this will not work unless you have already taken the time to understand your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So next, we are diving into the importance of conducting a SWOT analysis, why you need it now more than ever, and how it is your first line of defense in an uncertain economy. Could we please break it down? Let's go. How can a SWOT analysis prepare your business for unforeseen challenges like sudden tariff increases? SWOT stands for strengths. What does your business do well? Weakness. Where are the cracks? Opportunities. What trends, tools, or untapped audiences you can leverage? Threat. What outside forces could hurt your business? Hint, tariffs, supply chain issues, inflation. Now here is the problem. Most small business owners skip this step or only do it once when they launch. But in 2025, how are these tariffs moving and consumer habits shifting every month? You must make SWOT a habit, not a one-time activity or one-time event. Now, let me give you an example. A Black-owned natural skincare brand I studied used to import packaging from overseas. During their SWOT, they identified international supply risk as a threat. And because of that insight, they started sourcing from a U.S. supplier in advance. So when new tariffs hit, they were ready. Meanwhile, their competitors scrambled and lost money. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you sat down to analyze your business? Have you listed out your strengths and lean into them? Do you know where your blind spots are? Because here's the truth. If you can name it, you can navigate it. And look, you do not need a fancy MBA or an expensive consultant. Grab a sheet of paper, open a Google Doc, or use ChatGPT, aka my boy Market Sensei. A name I gave it because to ChatGPT so that I can make it personal. Because to me, ChatGPT is not just a machine, it is my personal assistant to guide my thoughts, to guide your thoughts through the process. It will help you ask the right questions and break them into plain English. Want to dive deeper? Let me know in the comments if you would like a visual slide version of this SWOT breakdown or a printable SWOT analysis worksheet you can use for your business today. So let me know in the comments if you want this breakdown, if you want this live version SWOT breakdown. So and let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Whether just getting started or looking to stay one step ahead, having the right tools make all the difference. Let us make sure you are not just listening, but implementing. That's key right there. We just don't want to listen. We want to implement what we're learning. So once you're listening to this episode, you taking notes. The next step after this episode's over, you want to put things into place. You want to start implementing these strategies, these tools, because it's going to help you grow your business, build your business, and defend your business during hard times. If you select SWOT Ready below, I will ensure you get the necessary resources to ensure your strategy. Let us keep building together. Here are a few quick strategies to get started. 1. Block out 1 hour this week. Schedule time for an introductory SWOT session. No excuses. Just you and your thoughts, or do it with your team. 2. Use ChatGPT to guide you. Type "help me conduct a SWOT analysis" and describe your business. He will or it will build it out with you. 3. Revisit monthly. Treat your SWOT like a living document. Update it as trends shift or tariffs evolve. And listen, conducting a SWOT analysis is just one piece of the puzzle. Knowing your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats gives you a foundation. But here's the thing. That foundation only works if you keep building on it. To make those insights work for you, you must stay plugged into what is happening around you. Staying ready means you do not have to get prepared, but you must keep informed to do so, and not just casually, but consistently. That is what separates the surviving businesses from the thriving ones. Now, up next, I believe that's me. Get on the mic for the Sip Finley. We are diving into future-proof your business, strategies to thrive through market shifts. Let us discuss how you can monitor market trends, policy changes, and consumer behavior shifts without becoming overwhelmed. Your import is tax-free 1 week, and the next, bam, you are slapped with a new duty or tariff. Just look at what happened with de minimis provision. Businesses used to bring in goods under $800 tax-free, but now they are facing unexpected costs due to new tariff restrictions. Here is where it gets real. As entrepreneurs, especially in our community, we often get hit the hardest. Not because we are not brilliant or talented, but we do not always get the news in time or have someone explain it to us in plain English. That is why I returned to school to get my PhD in organization leadership with a concentration in entrepreneurship. Not just for the degree, but to stay sharp, see the trends before they hit, and bring those insights back to you. See, I do not just want to help you build a business, I want to help you defend it. Because out here in these business streets, staying informed is your shield. Ask yourself this: are you plugged into the right newsletters? Are you following policy updates, industry trends, or economic forecasts? Are you using platforms like ChatGPT, Google Alerts, or the 6-month mentorship bootcamp to filter what matters most to your business? You do not need to know everything, but you do need to know what is coming for your corner of the market. Here are a few strategies to stay informed without getting overwhelmed. 1. Set up Google Alerts for keywords like tariffs, economic updates, or your industry name. Two, follow two or three trusted sources that break down news in a digestible way. Whether it is Morning Brew, The Skim, hey, even the Postal Marketing Podcast or niche business sites. Three, join industry groups or communities. This is why I built the 6 month mentorship bootcamp. It is the fastest way to learn what is working, what is changing, and what to do next. Four, schedule 30 minutes weekly to catch up on news, trends, and regulation shifts affecting your industry. Just 30. So let me ask you this. What is one thing you have learned recently that helped you shift your strategy? Could you drop it in the comments? I would love to see how you stay ahead. Now, here is where it gets powerful. Future proof your business is excellent. But who you stay informed with is a game changer. Because let us keep it a buck. None of us make it in business alone. So let us discuss something that does not get enough attention in strategy conversations. Building resilience through community and mentorship. Let us discuss the power of learning with others, relying on support systems, and growing through guided experiences like the 6 month mentorship bootcamp. How do you stay strong when everything around you is shifting? Oof, family, this right here is fundamental. When the economy shakes, policies shift, and fear creeps in, the community is your cushion. Mentorship is your campus. Let me break it down with a real world reflection. A few years back, I was working with my brother, trying to grow his t shirt brand. He had passion, he had a purpose, but what he did not have was guidance. Every time a challenge hit, whether it was a vendor delay, rising costs, or the stress of trying to do it all alone, he would fall back, lose momentum. I started to question if he was cut out for this. Truthfully, I did not have a formal boot camp at that time. I was still building and figuring things out myself, but I knew the community is important. So I connected him with a few people who got it, understood the grind, and had walked a similar path. And everything started to shift for him. He had people to bounce ideas off. He got feedback before launching a campaign. And most importantly, he did not feel alone anymore. That experience stuck with me. It was a seed that would eventually grow into the 6 month mentorship bootcamp. It reminded me that people need not just a strategy, but support. They need a space to grow, ask questions, fail forward, and be reminded that they are not in this alone. And that is precisely what I am building now for you. That is what mentorship and community do. They shift you from survival mode to strategy mode. The problem we face, too many entrepreneurs in our community are out here grinding in isolation. We are wearing many hats: CEO, CMO, janitor, tech support, and wondering why burnout hits so hard. The truth? Isolation kills innovation. You cannot grow at the level you are called to while stuck in your echo chamber. You need wise counsel, real feedback, loving accountability. So let me ask you, who is speaking to your business? Who is helping you sharpen your vision? Who is challenging your strategy when the market shifts? If you had to think too long, you might make the journey harder than necessary. Here is how you can strategize on a budget and how to tap in now. You do not need a $10,000 mastermind to build resilience through community. You need the right space. Now, here's how to start. One, join an affordable mentorship community like the 6 month mentorship bootcamp, where we're not just hyping you up, we are building you up. Two, leverage free platforms, LinkedIn, Clubhouse rooms, or fan based rooms, Twitter spaces. Get in the conversation. Three, Create your micro community, 3 to 5 business owners who meet weekly to hold each other accountable. 4, do not just consume, contribute. The more you give to the conversation, the more you will grow from it. And do not sleep on what you bring to the table either. Your experience is significant. So let us discuss the value of the boot camp. Inside the 6-month mentorship boot camp, you are not just getting content, you are getting a family. You will receive tailored strategies for uncertain times like these, access to my real life business playbook, weekly accountability, and community support that lasts way beyond the 6 months. Because of the relationships you build in this community, it do not end at the graduation. They evolve into partnerships, collaborations, and lifelong support. So, if you are tired of going at it alone, if you know you are built for more, if you want to move from stuck to scaling, this is your plug-in moment. Before we shift gears, let us take a quick pause.
How do you turn your idea into a real business when you do not even know where to start? Whether it is a clothing brand, a podcast, a logistic company, or a grocery store, the idea is real, but the process seems unclear. I know the feeling. You are excited, you are inspired, but you are stuck. Questions like, how do I structure this? Will it work? How do I make it sustainable? Are flooding your mind. That is why I created the 6-month mentorship bootcamp. This is to give you more information and the blueprint, strategy, and mentorship you need to build something solid and scalable from the ground up. In just 6 months, you will go from confused and frustrated to confident and equipped. You will learn step by step how to structure, launch, and grow your business the right way. So here's the question. Are you ready to stop guessing and start building? Click the link in the description and let us make it happen together. I will see you in the bootcamp. Peace.
I want you to imagine what is possible. We discussed how mentorship and community can fortify your mindset and expand your network. But let us keep it a buck. Having the right people around you is only part of the equation. Because once you have the right circle, you must chart the course. Because once you have support, you need a plan. That brings up strategic planning, preparing for market turbulence. How do we build a roadmap that holds up when the economy starts doing backflips and keeps your business on course no matter what hits the economy next? Could we get into it? How do you stay focused when the market gets chaotic? Because truth be told, tariffs, inflation, interest rates, consumer shifts, we are not just dealing with 1 or 2 waves anymore. We are riding a whole storm season in business right now. And if you are only reacting to what is happening today, you are already 2 steps behind. That is why a solid strategic plan is not a luxury, but a lifeline. Too many businesses are planning checkers when the game is chess. Let me break this down real quick. I have worked with entrepreneurs who had vision, fire, and hustle. However, they did not have a strategic roadmap, no game plan. There is no playbook when stuff hits the fan. So what happens? One supply deadline, one price hike, one unexpected vendor shift, and they freeze. Like I said before about me, everybody clap your hands. That is why we must stop hoping things will smooth out and start planning like Turbulence is already on schedule. Let us get practical with diversifying your strategy. Let us say you are running your own skincare line. You have built a loyal local following, but your supplier is overseas. A new tariff hits, and the cost of raw ingredients doubles. You will be caught scrambling if you do not have a strategic plan, such as identifying a domestic backup supplier or adjusting your pricing model beforehand. But if you have planned for that What if you can pivot without panicking? Now, let us discuss a budget friendly strategy to strategic plan without breaking the bank. And AI made it possible that you do not need to hire a $10,000 consultant to get started. Here is how you can start mapping out your business strategy on a budget. One, SWOT it out monthly. You have heard me talk about this earlier. Could you revise your SWOT analysis every 30 to 60 days, especially in volatile seasons? Your strengths today could be irrelevant tomorrow if the market shifts. Ask yourself, do I know if my vendors are stable? Do I know if my prices are competitive? What external threats am I ignoring? Two, create a three-tier contingency plan. Map out three scenarios: base case, boom season, middle ground, steady but uncertain, worst case, tariff plus low sales plus rising costs. Could you list the action steps for each? That way, when things change, you are not reacting but executing a plan. Three, use free planning tools. Google Sheets for financial forecasts, Notion or Trolley for business goals and tracking, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grant to help brainstorm revenue streams or plan content around trends. Four, do not just plan for profit, plan for people. How does your strategy support your community, team, and customers? Strategic planning is not just spreadsheet, it is about purpose alignment. Now, let us discuss, and I would like to ask you, have you created a strategic plan for your business this year? If so, what is working? And if not, what is holding you back? Drop it in the comments because learning from each other is part of the strategy. All right, family, you have now got the tools, the mindset, and the momentum. But before we close this thing out, let us bring it all together in a powerful final thought. Here is an honest question: how can you move forward with confidence when everything around you feels uncertain? Let us break it down and have real conversation. Understanding the risk tied to specific business investments during turbulent times, like these rising tariffs, is not just smart, it is essential. From high overhead pitfalls to the rise of Click-and-Mortar, from SWOT analysis to mentorship and strategic planning, you now know the moves to make so you do not just survive the shift, but position your business to thrive through it. And if no one told you today, you got this. Because resilience is not built in the spotlight, it is built in the planning room. You grow through the preparation, you succeed through adaptability, and you win through the community. Now, if this conversation sparked something in you, a strategy, a shift, or even just a bit of clarity, now here is your next move. Join the 6-month mentorship bootcamp. Let us not just talk about it, let us be about it. Inside the bootcamp, you will receive personalized guidance, weekly challenges, and authentic community, and a chance to build with like-minded entrepreneurs who get it, just like you. This is your opportunity to stop surviving and start scaling. Let's go. And if this episode helped you in any way level up your thinking, do me this favor. Subscribe to the podcast so you're always tapped in. Follow the show on your favorite audio platform to never miss a drop. Like and rate this episode. It helps others find the podcast. Leave a comment or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I want to hear how it is helping you grow. And most importantly, do not keep it to yourself. Tag a friend, send the link. Please share it with your team because we are stronger together. This was part 1, businesses to avoid in 2025. But next Monday, part 2. What is the best business to invest in right now to build wealth, safeguard your income, and dominate 2025? You do not want to miss it. Remember, it is not about how much you spend. It is about how smartly you move. Stay resilient, stay connected. I want you to stay committed to your vision because legacy is not built in reaction, it is built with intention. And as always, family, you do not have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. I will see you next week on the Postal Marketing, your go-to for Marketing Monday. One last thing, I am working on a streamlined process to be more consistent each week, or I might change from a weekly episode to every other week on Marketing Monday so that I can continue producing quality episodes. I have an idea for another episode that will be breaking down marketing campaigns and businesses and a behind the scenes of building in front of you with launching my book and the 90-day challenge. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The episode, I got a lot of ideas for it, and it's going to be fun. But I do not want to start another episode until I get this right. Thank you again for your continued support and continue rocking with the Postal Marketing. Until then, stay strong, stay strategic, and build your legacy. And you know what's coming next. Deuces. Peace.